All right, you're listening to Three Guys at a 12-Pack with your host and producer, Tony Voltrek. With me, I've got King of the Forest.
Good to be the king.
Greg the Neighbor. And Manly Danley.
Of course. We're back to Hidley Ho again?
Yeah, y'all killed it last time.
Oh, you didn't like the whole, won't you be my neighbor?
No, I was going to switch it to that, but y'all made a big huge deal of it. So.
Oh, I think it's because I made fun of them. They got ointment now for butt hurt.
It's called butt paste?
Yeah, butt paste. You just rub it in there.
Monkey butt. It's good stuff right
Get
there.
your old lady to put it on her strap on and rub it in there for you.
Like me some pegging.
That's some rough stuff.
Oh, shit.
You nasty. Your mother smells.
Oh, shit.
So what do we got for the docket this week?
We got a super game going on soon.
Yeah.
A super game.
It's going to be really super.
It's going to be extremely super.
I hope that the super game is super good.
Hopefully I pull some good money off of this super game.
I'm going to make a super bowl of chili to
Can't say
eat
that.
while I watch the super game.
I'm going to have a super...
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Super shitty, whatever. Anyway,
Strap on
Flop.
your butt.
we can talk about food later because
Let's
now I'm starting to
let's
get
see.
hungry.
We got a guy who used a truck to stop violence
In Ocala, right?
I think it was Ocala. We got metallic hydrogen or not metallic hydrogen. You be the judge. And Square Grouper, they're still out there. So
Yep.
yeah. I want to start with the metallic hydrogen because Greg the Neighbor brought this up. They've been working on trying to make a metallic hydrogen for I think it's 40 years now. And some people claim that they finally made it. I think it was some Harvard scientists who claimed that they finally created metallic hydrogen, which would be a room temperature superconductor.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it would conduct 100% of the electricity you put through it, and it wouldn't heat up, and you wouldn't have to temper the metal in order to make it safe for electricity to go through it.
Not just that. Also, there's the...
It would also make a super fuel
Yeah. super
for
fuel jets,
for
the,
jet rockets. Because right now there's a scale, I didn't bring notes on the exact scale.
It was
but
like 750
it's a 450 is
feet per second or something
what
like
we
that.
can get to now. If we could get to 500 feet per second,
Yeah, 450 now. If we can get to 500,
which
yeah.
this would help us do. Now
It's
here's
supposed to be 1,700 feet per second.
here's my problem.
What?
The fuck is that?
They're constructing. They're trying to make something.
Okay.
Jackhammers.
Makes it really hard to concentrate.
It's almost like dude looked like a lady all over again.
Dude looks like a lady. And he played the jackhammers. What they did was they placed hydrogen gas between two diamonds coated in aluminum oxide, aluminium, at just above absolute zero for temperature. And then they compressed it. They used the diamonds to create pressure on the gas. And it reached a certain point where the hydrogen became black. And they knew they had formed a soft solid, which we've done before. A soft solid. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And so once they got to 5 million times, Tony sounded like a little one. Apparently, someone has a pressure leak.
Close the valve.
That sounded like the bottom right there. So as soon as it hit 5 million times what the normal atmosphere pressure is, it turned shiny and reflected 90% of the light. Like apparently this guy's bowels is reflecting 90% of the food he ate. Anyway, here's the thing. The shininess that they're claiming makes it metallic could be from the aluminum oxide they coated the diamonds on. The lasers that measure the pressure and regulate it couldn't be held on the whole time because they weakened the diamonds that are creating the pressure. So they don't know if they actually got through the pressure they needed to. And third, they won't test it for conductivity because they don't want to hurt the sample. So they haven't turned the pressure off on it yet. They're afraid if they turn the pressure off on
No,
it. Then
in the article it was supposed to be once you take the pressure off, it's supposed to stay.
yeah, but they
uniform.
haven't yet because they're afraid when they do it won't.
What the?
So that's why I said I feel like
Yeah.
this is a bunch of bullshit because
Well, when your sample's worth more than the whole program.
yeah,
I
when,
bet.
when you know,
What the
it's
fuck are you gonna do with the
very
sample you can't
specious
use?
results. You guys got rubber soles on your shoes, right?
Sure.
I'm not wearing shoes, but okay.
Not at this moment.
And we're all gonna die because I'm wearing rope sand. Hey, my shoes will burn off.
You know, they did a test, and the safest place to be in a lightning storm is in a suit of armor.
Or maybe a Faraday cage.
No, they put a guy in a suit of armor. They took 4 mannequins, and
Just say, I hope they didn't put a guy.
Yeah, 'cause
they had them
How
somehow.
do you-
They had like balloons rigged up in them or whatever, and they had 4 different mannequins, and the one that was in the knight suit of armor was the only one that
full
didn't.
plate mail.
Yep.
How much water does a mannequin consist of?
There you go.
Because you're like 80.
No, they had a balloon filled with water.
Okay, so you're like 80-something% water, so you're
With it.
just this close to drowning all the time as it is.
But for whatever reason, the suit of armor conducted it all, because it was standing on the ground. So the armor conducted it into the ground, and the person wearing it or whatever didn't get.
There was a guy, and I think it was St. Pete, like 10 years ago, that got hit by lightning, but he had a tongue stud, and that's what saved him. The doctors told him because it grounded out at his tongue stud. We gotta talk like this now, but
It
he's
didn't
still
hit his
alive.
heart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It didn't make it to his heart.
It's funny. I put in lightning strike sound effect, and I got thunder.
Because there's no sound effect for lightning.
I know.
Yeah.
So technically, nothing should come up for it. It should just be thunder.
Well, they just assumed your dumbass didn't understand that that's not Jesus bowling.
We know what your dumbass is looking for. This is what you're looking for.
So basically it sounds like at this point it's bullshit science because they can't prove that. This is what I hate about scientists. We've done this. No, you haven't because you haven't proved yet that you've done it. When I can't call the electric company and go, hey, I worked this week, so your money's definitely somewhere. I mean, if it ain't in our bank account or in the form of a check that we can cash, then it's not here, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that we can cash. I was about to say, you take checks?
Yeah.
Shit, I thought you wanted money.
Yeah, but we don't want to have Michael Jordan
Hold on
have
to
to chase
that.
your
Yeah.
check.
Hold on
Yeah.
to that shit. 'Cause it's gonna bounce hard as fuck if you let it go. Hold on tight. Don't let this go.
Why didn't you mail us a check? You mailed us a super bounce ball. Same difference. Same difference, my friend.
Look, the printing's real small on it and swirly. Well, you know what I never understood is how people talk about prepared food and unprepared food. Because my understanding is that if it was prepared, it wouldn't be food right now. You know? Oh shit, Jimmy, that cow's got a gun. That's prepared food. We don't want to mess with that. It might have preservatives like lead. You know?
Unprepared food
And
is that cow
gunpowder.
walking around. That is unprepared food
Those cows on Aussie Man Review weren't prepared.
No.
for that turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Or a rock. Or a pile of horse shit. So, who was it that wasn't familiar with the term square grouper? Yeah,
Me.
you can read my notes
Me.
now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, back in, I think it was the 80s, there was a little town out off the coast of Florida near the Keys.
Mhm.
And everybody in the town got rich from catching square grouper. And what it was back then was bales of marijuana that are wrapped up tight in plastic that the cartels drop off the coast, and these people would retrieve them and deliver them to whoever they belonged to. Well, they busted like everybody in this town. All the men had like these gold anchor chains.
Those was considered a square grouper.
Yeah, it's well this time it's cocaine, but
Gotcha,
yeah,
yeah.
drug that
Bales
they float
of drugs.
of
Gotcha.
yeah of controlled substances floating in the bay. Greg's like, I need to get a boat. It does.
Do I want a boat so bad?
You don't
No,
want.
you don't. You want a
Yeah.
friend with the boat.
Do you know what boat?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
There
boat
go.
stands for?
What?
Bust out another 1,000.
Yep.
Boats are expensive as fuck.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, exactly. You want to.
When I go to spend
day.
$40,000 or $50,000 on a boat, I'm gonna buy one that I can live on.
There
And there you go.
Fuck that. I'd be puking all the time.
So basically, squared grouper was.
Smoke weed every day. I don't think it was
This,
that substance, but yeah.
Yeah,
along
no,
the same
originally
lines.
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they busted all the guys in that town, and there was a joke with truckers on I-95 all the time. They would tell new truckers or people traveling through, the women in that town are really lonely because all the men are going to be in jail for the next 10 years. So you might want to stop in that town on your way through if you're feeling frisky. Everybody had new boats. They had ATVs. They had all the coolest toys, and the police were like, this is a fucking fishing village. What the hell?
Yeah.
And they started getting investigated, and they found just about...
No, they were investigating because they weren't getting day cut.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. There you go.
That's why investigation.
Yeah, there was on I-4 a while ago, when, maybe about 5-6 years ago. I mean, we were driving down I-4 every day going to work, and there was, for about a week, like 6 or 7 black garbage bags just sitting on the side of I-4.
Greg's wishing he had got into
I
this.
absolutely wish I would have got out and looked in them bags. Maybe not, because it could have been a trap.
Well,
But eventually the cops picked it up and they were full of fucking weed.
Here's my thing, though. If I was walking, let's say I'm in the woods and I come across a duffel bag full of money. Honestly, I'm probably just going to keep on walking. Because that money belongs to somebody.
And somebody's going to come
And somebody may come looking for it, more than likely, because it's a duffel bag full of money, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't need that.
And you don't know if there's a locator.
No country,
or...
old men.
No, you dump everything out and
Yeah,
go
you don't
through it.
take the bag.
Yeah,
you
well,
know.
I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean, one of those $100 bills can have a little navigation thing. in it,
What
don't
if
even
you
know it.
open up?
I'd still take it.
What if you open up that bag and there's like a bunch of fucking chopped up bodies? You could
call
have
the
said.
police,
You could have. But
obviously.
you could have said. But you're gonna be
That
perfectly
or-
okay. that
I
you
guess I
unzip
know
the
what I'm
bag
eating
and
for the
there's
winter.
A bunch of chopped up bodies in it. You're gonna go to sleep that night. Not my problem. I didn't just see a bunch of chopped up bodies. It's not gonna phase you at all. As opposed to
I think
not,
I'm going to have to
I'm gonna
be,
be like,
put in
I
that
would-
situation first before I understand what the effects that it's going to have on me, because I haven't actually opened a bag full of dead body parts, so I'm not really sure what effect it would have.
I would take that too. I would just take it.
I've dealt with dead animals, so I.
Greg would rather have the dead body parts than the money. He's like, I'm going to take this arm here,
I got this
and I'm
whole
gonna wrap it
slab
around.
of ribs.
and I'm going to do a Dutch rudder.
there, yo.
I call it the stranger.
Greg's gonna taxiderm him up somebody else's hand and fucking have it beat off for him. Yo, look, I got this wired up to, so I just crank this right here, and
you
the
seen the
arm
fucking-
goes. You talking about the robotic hand where the guy turns it on jerk off mode? Yeah, that's on our page
That's
somewhere.
hilarious.
If Dean finds the bag.
Is that Ned Flanders?
It sounded like it, though, kind of.
Body parts. Ah! No, I just
That's fucked up, man.
going back to.
It is what it is.
Going
fucked
back
up,
to
bro.
last week's where we were eating body parts and shit. Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah,
Home. I know what I mean for the winter.
Greg's like, man, I'm gonna save on groceries. I'm gonna show my wife how to cut the budget right here.
Yeah.
Why do these?
got plenty of
Why
I
does
have a
this
deep
pork
freezer.
have fingers on it? It's pork fingers, baby. It's new. It's genetically modified.
Just don't eat the
Buffaloes
hard
don't
part.
have wings, bitch.
Well, my son wouldn't eat chicken nuggets for a little while because I had him convinced that they just cut off the legs and the head of a baby chicken and threw it in the fryer.
Yeah, they don't cut off the heads and the legs. They just throw the whole thing in there.
That's why that one's shaped like a boot. That's the one that didn't go fetal when it hit the hot oil.
Colonel Sanders.
That's fucked up.
Oh shit! No, this guy found some bales of cocaine off the coast here, worth about $620,000 on the street. So he decided, fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
I'm-
Fuck the police. Fuck 'em.
I'm gonna get me some money. And
Money.
unfortunately, he sold it to the wrong person.
He sold it to the
He
police.
sold the police, and he's facing up to a life sentence in prison and $4.25 million, $4.25 million fine. He did say
Can I
this.
sell this so I can make some of that back?
It's evidence now. We're gonna store it. He said, "I would like to let the public know the dangers and what not to do if this situation comes about." This changed my life and way of thinking and also made me aware of some of the dangers that can be found offshore. Bitch, you didn't find danger offshore. You picked up someone else's cocaine, and you're lucky you didn't get shot.
Yeah. You and your family.
And the justice system took care of your ass.
Yeah, but he's gonna go to jail, and somebody didn't get paid for that cocaine.
His ass gonna die in jail.
And somebody didn't get their cocaine.
And somebody knows somebody in that
And
same
somebody's
person he's gonna be in there.
customers didn't get their cocaine. And my cousin Pookie said that he was talking to the busboy that works at the Johnny Carrabba's, and he's banging the sister or the cousin of the girl who's a guard down at the penitentiary, and she knows the dude that's going to be in trouble for that.
Get ready, because Bubba's coming for that ass.
And if you wanna follow that chain of events, you're gonna have to rewind that and then play it and write it down, because I can't remember what the fuck I just said.
Something about Pookie at Carrabba's.
Yeah.
You did a pretty good job there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty accurate.
You
I
know,
mean,
my brother, sister, mother, cousin, uncle.
Yeah. Uncle Grandpa.
Well, that was just a stone's throw away for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was literally reciting my family tree.
Yeah.
damn, man. That's
Doesn't
fucked
it
up.
have to be over
That's
3
from
feet
Virginia?
tall to be a tree?
No, okay, my family bush. They just continues to circle
More
around.
like ground cover, but
You know, find mossy covering over everything.
like,
You don't
like
stray
that
too far
shit
from
on
your
your
family
face.
tree, huh?
It's mulch.
Come on.
Greg's hillbilly beard. He looks a little hillbeardy.
He's looking for something.
He's looking for something to pull up.
Something.
I played that last week.
Oh.
I think we were talking about Greg's hillbilly beard last week.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about
Yeah.
eating people.
We were
I
talking
think.
about eating.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Greg would eat them.
Survival of the fittest. I mean, eventually we're all going to be cannibals at some point in time.
Like,
in our
yeah,
life.
I'm gonna go first. I don't mind eating people.
I eat vagina every night. Yeah.
I really do believe that you can make.
We don't
anything
care how
taste good.
flexible you are, Greg.
What was
I had
that?
to take out 2 of my ribs for that.
I really do believe that you can make anything taste good, even human.
Put enough sazon on it.
Yeah, you sazon it, motherfucker. You are, man. You go over to Dean's house
Not
and like,
his
what's
fault.
that got on it? Sazon.
It's the culture shock, man. He just jumped into it. It's like if you marry a chick from the Philippines, you're gonna be putting sriracha on everything you fucking eat.
Fuck
Lumpia,
yeah.
lumpia, lumpia.
Shit, sriracha's good too.
Nope. Don't
Nah,
thank you.
Sriracha, no.
Sriracha does not agree with my butthole.
Yeah, sriracha.
That's because you guys are, you know,
Birds.
I
hang in the
eat-
forest and
I
Tony
eat
Goldtrap.
No, I
Spicy
ate the
stuff.
fuck out of those chicken wings last night, and this morning my butthole did not like it.
Yeah, I eat
Those were crushed red peppers,
habaneros.
though.
Yeah, my
I
butthole
eat
did not
ghost
like it.
chilies. I eat jalapenos.
It was good as fuck going in. It was not too good coming out.
How'd Greg sound?
Fucking delicious last night.
That's yeah. Every time I
That's
wipe.
what that was.
The blood curdling scream and everything.
Speaking of butt, did it come back buddy when you wiped?
A little bit.
Probably time for a tampon.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was blood or all the red peppers.
What kind of solid was that again that you were talking
Oh,
about?
metallic solid. That's what sriracha turns into in my intestines, a metallic solid. When I shit, I gotta try not to crack the bottom of the bowl.
You taking a shit? You're throwing horseshoes.
Got too much iron in my diet. Wouldn't that be messed up if like your body collected all the? Because you have
Yeah.
metal shit, minerals and things in you, and you know your body uses them and passes some of them. Would it be weird if it like lumped them all? You know, like okay, this is all the copper this fucker has in his body. We're just gonna pass it.
That would be nice to sell. It would be
Yeah,
shitty
yeah.
to pass, but
That would be great to take to the scrapyard because my body just did it for me.
No, I'm not buying that.
Scrape
shit.
your anal cavity.
Yeah.
on the
How do
way
you
out.
know what it is? My
I'm not
body just
buying-
separated it for
He
you.
starts looking at him. He goes, "Did these come out of your ass?"
how do you get your anus to shape them in such nice,
But you know
smooth
what?
balls?
If Dean
Like little
just shit
goat
into
pellets.
a crucible, he could turn around and just squat over and melt the metal.
Damn.
All at the same time, Bubba.
He's
Keep it
his
nice.
own. He's his own founder. He just
Keep it
eats
as
the
nice,
ore
huh?
and shits out.
Keeps it a nice.
Careful how
fiery
you test
Pour
that
it.
gold.
Dean, what did you make
Arr.
these eggnots with? Magic.
I don't know why, but for some reason I keep thinking of that South Park episode where they eat through their butt and shit through their mouth.
Oh yeah, Cartman.
Well, the whole town starts doing it. Hold on, I got shit.
How weird would the toilets be shaped if your, restroom facilities were on the front of your face?
They would look like a sink.
Yeah. Basically.
I'll be right
We
back, guys.
can't
I gotta eat this sandwich.
We can't eat chili. For some reason, we uncontrollably vomit every time. Ben Affleck's parents. The butthead people.
Yes.
But they're eating the crackers. It's getting ass-eating crackers. It's like Nicki Minaj trying to pick up a cracker with her butt cheeks.
Dude, she would crush that cracker.
But those aren't real, man.
Of course they're not real, but that doesn't mean they're not really implanted.
Yeah, but it looks really weird and disgusting because it's not shaped right.
That doesn't
when
mean
you
it's not gonna
sit
break
on
that
your
cracker.
own ass. It
That's
ain't
gotta
breaking
feel
this
weird
cracker.
though for her.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
sitting on a giant cushion. Because you can't, I mean,
I mean, really, that's what you're sitting on.
look,
You said your ass
Coco.
cheeks is a cushion.
Ice-T's wife, Coco,
Yeah.
that ass is real. Oh my God. It's real big and it's real and it's she invented her own machine that she does workouts on.
It's iced tea.
It's called Ice T's cock.
No, yeah. It's hot. It's hot. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
It's lemonade. Read a sign.
Not Ice T.
What's wrong with you people?
I got a question for Ice-T though. How you gonna go from 1995 singing "Cop Killer" to being on Law and Order in
Yeah.
fucking 2010?
He grew up, man.
It's all about the money,
up.
money.
Yeah, that's what it's about. The money. Motherfucking Ice-T.
Man's gotta get paid. He's gotta, he's got bills
You know,
and
you
kids.
gotta, sometimes
and
you
shit.
gotta chase fucking, anacondas and
out.
shit too. I don't know.
That was Ice Cube.
Same shit.
Sometimes
Hey,
you gotta sell.
if they're in prison,
lemonade.
I'm guessing Ice-T would be on the bottom because you got to put the Ice Cube in the iced tea.
It's all about this right here.
Late sound clips.
He gets
What's
better
that
with
from
age.
Pink Floyd?
No, that was just a cha-ching sound effect.
And so does vinegar. That's pride fucking with you. Look at my band-aid. I got another
Those are
story, but I
Band-Aids.
don't want to bring it through till
You
after
mean
break.
bitch sticker, don't you?
You
That's
tell
what it
Marcellus
says.
Wallace that he has a bitch sticker on the back of his head.
Who's that?
Pulp Fiction.
Does he look like a bitch?
What?
Say what one more goddamn
What
time.
ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what, motherfucker?
That was divine intervention.
What, you trying to say that God came down and stopped the bullets?
And to wrap it all together, he died on a shitter.
Yeah.
Well, he just got out. He was walking out the bathroom.
Yeah, with that stupid book.
Yeah.
That stupid book.
And then the smoke alarm went off in the Pop-Tart. Well, the Pop-Tarts came out. That's why he got shot. The
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts. I wonder what the fatality rate on Pop-Tarts is.
Probably not too high.
No, yeah.
I don't
well,
think so.
You know,
sometimes you get
it's a
diabetes.
slow diabetes.
Diabetes.
I got that bad sugar.
The itis.
Got me a little sugar problem.
You like to eat your Pop-Tarts cold, or how do you like them, Greg?
I like toasted strudels.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
But how do you like them? You don't eat them frozen, do you?
No.
You eat
You
them.
don't eat frozen toaster strudels.
Well, when it
You eat
comes
'em hot.
there you go. Lead them to it.
Lead 'em to water, he shall drink.
Almost had to fucking hook the collar up, drag his ass around to
What
it.
does your wife have to do? Put running lights from an airport on the fucking bed and lay their spread eagle to let
No.
you know, hey, I want some dick here. You know, big old neon sign flashing. And Greg's like, I want to play Farmville, then I'm gonna go to bed.
He's got fucking
No, it's usually
Cheech
vice
Merida's
versa.
out there like
Oh, pussy.
Honestly-
We got hot
honestly,
pussy,
though-
cold pussy, tough pussy,
Hold on.
soft pussy.
Yeah.
We got
That's what
naga
I'm
high
talking about.
pussy.
That's what that's more Greg style right there.
Yeah.
He's not the I don't need the runway.
You can
Please.
find
I'm
better
like-
pussy cheaper elsewhere.
Fuck it.
No, I'm all about the. I will find it. Trust me.
all about the what? Where you say
The
black
puss.
pussy?
Black, white, Chinese. It's all pink on the inside.
Better be. If it ain't, there's a problem.
If it is, fuck it.
It
Yo, man,
might
I
be
don't,
blue.
I don't do wizard sleeves.
Blue
no
waffle?
More, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you seen those pictures?
I look like
Oh,
Mike
God.
Tyson beat the shit out of something.
It's a venereal disease. Don't look that up.
He started biting on it.
Ugh. He punched the hell out of it.
When you eat your children, I'm gonna chop off your balls.
gonna
I'm
bite
no
your lips
spring
off.
chicken in this game. I'm gonna fade out into Bolivian and my hands off to you. Oh shit! Like, he was an awesome boxer.
It just shocked the world whenever he picked up the microphone.
But yeah,
That's
because
funny.
I mean, talk like I'm gonna beat the
talk
fuck
like
out of
death.
you. Because would you take? I mean, he's a big motherfucker.
Yeah,
but would
I
you
know.
take him serious? I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
I'm gonna knock your fucking head off.
When did they? When?
No, you sound more like a nah than a
Whatever.
You
than a lisp.
I knock your head off doesn't have any fucking
No,
S's or any lisps.
You sound like a drunk Muhammad Ali. Or just Muhammad Ali when he was older.
You all sound drunk.
Parkinson's.
I'm the greatest. I felt like something about a bee. And I wish you fuckers would stop bothering me. Fucking Sugar Ray Leonard and detached retinas.
Bring me my catheter. Bring me my catheter. I gotta use the bathroom.
Dude, I watched this fucking video the other day on Facebook. There's some basketball clip. This dude went up for a rebound and the dude fucking like raked his eye. This bitch came up and his eyeballs popped out of his fucking head.
Oh, I saw one of football where the guy's hand went up the face mask and his thumb went in. All the way up to the fucking last knuckle on his thumb, right in the guy's fucking eye socket. Yeah.
Somebody's getting
Can you
killed.
play football with one eye?
There was a wide receiver that played for
God,
the
Ted bless me
it
with
was either
two.
the Jets or the Miami Dolphins that was blind on one side.
He was a what?
It was a receiver. It was a damn good receiver.
How do you see the ball coming?
Quarterback and
With
him
one
had
eye?
really good timing. Yeah, I bet
Yeah,
you could.
you couldn't play for any other team.
If you made Jerry Rice to him, you can't turn around and look. You just got to run the pattern. Joe Montana would have hit him every fucking time.
Well, it's
Every
like
time.
on Madden, you know, you got Chris Collinworth commentating on
Yeah.
15 or whatever. And you got these wide receivers and these quarterbacks, and they're so in tune that they could be pitch black in the dark and they would still catch the ball.
You can't run in the dark, you dumbass commentator.
You can run in the
You run
dark.
in the dark, you might hit shit.
You're not gonna run in a straight line. It is physically impossible for you to run in a straight line without any visual references.
I
You
can't
will
even-
automatically run in a circle.
I can't even walk a straight line.
Yeah, well, that's that's in that cup right there.
Speaking of that cup,
Dude, this is the one I've been milking all day.
That's the same
Same
drink
one?
you've had
Yes.
all day.
Emma made that
Shit,
bitch
I haven't
strong
been
as
home but,
fuck.
like,
I gotta have Lizzie
an
start
hour or
making
two, and I'm already on
me.
my
You still
third.
like it's fucking strong as shit.
You strip paint with that motherfucker.
Emma gave
What
me
is that,
like a
Captain?
And he
nine
ain't
yes.
added anything more to
No,
it. Like,
I'm
nope, I'm
just
just going to
sipping on
sip
it all
on it.
day.
His face is as red as Dean's crotch right now, too, man.
Dude, how do you know how red my crotch
Yeah,
is?
that's a little scary.
Because your hair is red, and you said that your crotch is the same color.
Yeah, but you don't know if I shave or not.
Even if you did,
He's got the stubble, it's red.
thank you very
Why
much.
are you staring at my crotch through the table?
Why are you
Wait,
like I'm
through the table. When did you get X-ray vision, motherfucker? We're related, and you didn't tell me.
If I
It
had
might be-
X-ray vision, I wouldn't be wasting it on his
It's not X-ray vision. His fire crotch is burning through the
Oh,
table.
you know what it is? Is you can always picture things you've seen before. Hey,
Yeah, he had an
hey,
up close. He had an up close visit
You
with
walked right through that door.
Yeah, I've seen his mom, so
it. Damn.
After the break.
apples don't fall too far from the tree, I guess. I don't know.
You have to tell that story. Especially
Please
when
don't
they're
tell that
red
story when I'm
apples.
not here.
Well, it involved a lime and some meth and
And some coconuts.
Hold on, was it?
God damn, a
Hey.
coconut.
How old was she?
rough.
How old was she at the time? Was it a red apple or was it a Granny Smith?
Oh,
Oh.
It was most definitely a Granny Smith, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I like them Granny
Gilf.
Smith apples.
They're kind of tart. Did you just call his mom a tart?
You know, sometimes, they make shit now for when the well runs dry.
Oh, wow. Personal lubricant.
Hey, that would be a good
KY.
commercial right there.
Oh, yeah.
They make shit for when the well runs dry. Pick yourself up a little bit of KY.
And it's like a fucking 60-year-old woman. Just because the
I don't know why you
plumbing
don't sell
broke
that
down
shit, man.
doesn't mean people aren't invited in the house.
All you gotta do is get yourself a little
Frank's
jingle.
Red Hot Sauce. I put that shit on everything.
That's what I'm saying. You know how big they got because of that granny that did that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit, Have
yeah.
your girl sing that little jingle and send that shit to KY. Done. You just made yourself $1 million.
You're going to have to get somebody's old mom to sing
Yeah.
that.
Hey, Dean. Your mom would sing it too.
Only because you know Greg's mom.
If
won't.
you said anything,
She's not
with
old
dollar bills in it, yeah, she'd do whatever.
I gave you $50 to say
Wait,
yes. Okay.
whoa! Did you? He just said that about his own mom. He just said if it's anything that's got dollar bills to do with it, she'll do it. Why aren't you taking your mom out to Vegas and cashing in on this attitude?
Because it's my mom.
You're gonna need a credit card for
I don't like
that.
that bitch.
Oh,
No way.
wait. Now it's because it's his mom.
I'm not taking her anywhere. But if you guys
Damn.
should see
not
fit
pimp
to
out
go
your
get
mom.
rich real quick, there is an
I
opportunity.
have to fight my way through the line
That's
at
a
the door.
fucking Jerry Springer episode right there. I pimped out my mom in Vegas.
At my mom.
Because that,
I'm pretty sure
that would
they're
imply
done.
that
Alright,
I'm
Mom.
making money off of it.
Practice stabbing the mannequin and saying, "Don't play me, bitch." Now that you're gonna take cash for, but that you're gonna need a credit card for.
Denied, denied, accepted.
All right. And on that note, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. You're listening to 3 Guys in a 12-Pack. All right, we're back from break. 3 Guys in a 12-Pack. And Nick had something on the docket. I just like saying docket. I say docket, and Greg should say hot. Because this is going to be a hot docket.
All right, that's actually pretty interesting. It's out of High Springs, Florida. There's some 18-year-old. I'm gonna
Pussy.
call him kid. No, actually he's not.
I mean, your kid tells you're 25, so 18
Well,
is kid.
and the thing is, it says he's 18.
Can't drink yet.
He's a dad. He's got his girlfriend in the car with him, and he's driving his pickup truck. And several people had reported this 53-year-old guy driving a Toyota Camry recklessly. So he's riding behind this kid's Ford F-150 real close, and the guy's got his wife and his baby inside. And when they stop at a red light, the 53-year-old gets out of his car and comes over to the truck and starts punching the kid in the face. So the kid's girlfriend yells, "There's a gun in the truck." There wasn't, but she was trying to get the guy to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy goes, "I'll show you a real gun," and starts to walk back to his vehicle. So the 18-year-old does the only intelligent thing, since it's a red light in front of him, and he's got nowhere to go that way. He turns around and just backs right over the guy's Camry and crushes it, because apparently he had a
Yeah,
lift
big-
kit and
yeah,
all
big
that,
lift kit,
that
yeah.
shit on it
Yeah.
and whatever.
And he's going to get sued for it, but...
Well, he might get sued in civil court, but there's so many witnesses that have told the police, "Look, this is what happened," and the guy claimed he was going to get a firearm out of his car, at which your point, you can
Stand
defend
your
yourself.
ground,
Yeah.
You know.
He had no other choice.
They didn't charge the 18-year-old with anything. They didn't arrest him. They didn't take him in, because there were so many people who were just like, "Look, this is what the fuck happened."
This guy's fucking ridiculous. He's a
So-
drunk motherfucker.
Well, the guy who was going to go get the gun out of his Camry was driving his car on a suspended license because he hadn't been paying his child support, and he had some other charges and shit on his background. So he was just a complete douchebag to begin with, you know.
Useless piece of shit. Another
Yeah,
one of
pretty-
those in the system. Whatever.
Pretty much. So.
We all know one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, not that the system is
If
really
you don't, it's
designed
probably
to help you
you.
out.
No, the system is designed for private companies to run the prisons and make money, and you don't
Yeah.
make money when you don't have bodies in the prison.
Yep.
So you need to
Keep them full.
Yep. It's not like there's a lot of people out there that don't help, though. There's people that just keep doing dumb shit. I mean,
But there are a lot of them that are in the system because it's
Those
hard to
stupid
get
shit,
out of it
yeah.
once you're in there.
yeah, being institutionalized and being put in there, and the shit. That
I'm
they
not
make you
even
go
I'm not
through.
even saying prison, but I'm talking about just somebody that gets a ticket or whatever. Okay, they get a ticket, they get their license suspended, or they get their car taken away or something, and they can't afford to get
You still gotta
insurance
go back, you still gotta
or
go to work to get
yeah.
your fucking pay your bills to get down.
And once you get in that system because you were driving your friend's car on a suspended license because you had to get to work, but you can't get your license fixed because you got to pay your bills because you don't make that much because you didn't go to school.
Damn, Dean, this sounds like really close to home. What?
Are you reading my book?
I have to drive a vehicle every day for work, so
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Well, yeah, I pay child support. I think you do. Maybe you don't. No, that's right. You have.
I have custody of my kids.
I get my
So
child support.
they take your license away if you.
Yeah.
They're trying to change that law now.
That'd be
They're
good.
in the process of changing that.
They also need to change
That's
the
a
law
stupid
that
fucking
says
law, though.
once they put you in jail for not paying your child support, until you catch up on your child support, you can't get out of jail. Which, when you're making 13 cents a day in prison, it makes it a little hard to fucking pay your child support.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to pay. how much is it a day? Something like $75 a day while you're in there.
It's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
So that's your restitution. So 'cause that's
Yeah.
what it costs to keep you in there.
Yeah. For the cable TV and the
Yeah, and the guards and all the gourmet food you eat.
gourmet. I don't think
Corn dogs without sticks.
Everything comes in a big bag. And they just corn dog. Oh yeah, I guess not. I didn't think about
I
it.
got corn dogs without sticks
You
when I
know-
was there.
You know,
I was like, why does my corn dog have a stick? You might shake someone. Dude, I'm not trying to.
don't you give me a toothbrush, motherfucker?
I'm on the
You
weekend
might
here,
shake
bro.
someone
I'm-
with the stick from the corn
That's
dog.
what they told me. I'm like,
Hey,
dude, I'm here for
you
the
could-
weekend,
you
bro.
could
I'm
sharpen-
not trying to shake them to stay longer than I need
You
to.
could sharpen that and stick somebody in the neck with it.
You could.
Yeah, they sharpen they crack the handle off their toothbrushes and sharpen them up.
Well,
If you're
know
that
that-
criminally
like that fucking
insane,
movie.
you need to be in some kind of lockdown
No, what was
facility.
that fucking movie where the
So
chick...
when you go in there, sometimes people are trying to kill you because you're whatever.
hey, what were we talking about earlier this episode?
Hot!
Fire crotch.
The guy that fucking picked up the coke that wasn't
Cocaine!
his.
Oh,
yeah.
Now he's gonna
Yeah.
go to jail and
Oh,
die.
Somebody's
yeah.
Drop
so
soap.
he might want to protect himself with a
No,
toothbrush.
he's gonna die for different reasons though. He's gonna die because he took somebody's coke.
Because
Yeah,
he didn't know how to
then they
keep
got
her
caught
that
with
shake.
But you don't think he's gonna take a magazine and roll it up and put rubber bands on it and rub it with toothpaste and water until it becomes like a concrete slab, and then stick somebody in the neck with it if they attack him?
No.
You wouldn't do that
I mean,
if
I
you knew
would if
people
I
were
knew how
gonna
to
try
do
to
that.
kill you.
I would just take
I
my
just
fucking
told you how to
saran
do
wrap.
it,
I would
you
just take my
know.
saran wrap.
I
Is
think
it
I would take
fucking-
my
And
chances.
put it over
with
the toilet so when my cellmate went to pee,
No. That's a good practical joke.
he would beat me to death in my sleep, and then I'd know it was coming.
I feel like diplomacy
No,
would be
yeah.
my best option in that situation.
I'm gonna put
Please don't rip
saran
my
wrap
butt.
around my butthole, and not to keep people out, so at least I have a prepared condom.
Listen, I got my friend over here at Cell Block D. He will give
D
you
nut?
the D.
You ever saw that movie with the chick? They fucking took the saran wrap off her toothbrush, wrapped it in the fucking toothbrush, and then heated it up.
Oh yeah, and
And
it
like
formed-
sharpened it. She made like a fucking shiv. She fucking cut the dude's throat
That's
with
that's
that shit.
complicated as fuck. You could just sharpen the end of the handle of the toothbrush,
True that.
and then you wrap something on it.
Yeah,
so
you
it
better
looks
not
like
go
a
to jail, Dean. They love you.
I
Look
can
at
carve-
you, manly Danley.
I could carve race cars out of bars of soap.
Just a shout out to everybody that's
Just so
in
I can
prison
carve
that's
out
listening
your-
to our podcast. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We hope we
Since you
keep
ain't
y'all.
got shit else to do.
Yeah.
And you could steal our jokes because, like Richard Pryor said, if you keep them laughing, you keep their mind off the booty. But
Keep
seriously,
'em
though, we
laughing.
have a large amount of our population incarcerated.
Do we?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
Like
How
a
are they
third.
I'm like,
fuck are they listening to us?
Like
no,
a
no, no,
third.
just the population of the United States.
They have,
Oh, yeah.
they have internet.
I was thinking the same thing.
In
too. I was like,
prison,
how
they
are
get
Oh,
internet?
they get devices now? Oh, is
No.
that how it works?
No, they do. They sneak them through the butthole.
But
gotta keep it
in my butthole. But they have the libraries at some of the prisons have internet access. It's limited. Obviously, they don't let them go look at porn on there because you'd have a bunch of dudes beating off in the library.
I would.
Cuts
If
down on
I
butt
was in
sex.
prison, I would rather be sitting around a bunch of dudes beating off the board in the library than a bunch of dudes deciding who's gonna fuck me in the butt first.
Oh,
Seriously.
they're gonna watch the porn and get horny and want to fuck you in the butt because now they have the mental image of whoever it is that they were.
They're
banging.
all watching dude butt sex.
Yeah,
all of
probably. Yeah. You ever seen the soap dribble down the crack of a man's ass?
Damn.
No, and I hope not to.
Listen here, boy. If you're over there gazing at my meat, it's going to be more than just a meat gazing project.
I'm gonna poke your eye out with this thing. Get down here real close so I can do it. Hey, talking about Dean would be the prison barbecue.
Gotta heat all that meat.
Cause it's what?
Hot.
For fire crotch?
Yeah.
Hey,
Burn,
when you have to
baby,
explain
burn.
the joke, it makes it not funny, Dean.
That's kind of where I was going with it.
Like he's like an old
He's trying to
person.
kill it.
I can make it funny if I just say fire crotch.
That's because it's funny.
Damn it,
Hey,
Dean!
listen,
I know
if you-
the math.
I know the color.
It's red.
I'm
you
not
ever gonna make it-
colorblind.
Hey,
Purple.
Are you ever going to make it so we can take phone calls? You keep talking about
Why
it.
would you want to do that?
I thought about that just to have some fucking motherfuckers.
Have
call
you
me.
Just so
never
we can call
watched
some
public
motherfuckers in
access?
Let's get some motherfucking callers.
I don't know.
Seriously.
You're the one getting back a buttload from income tax. Maybe you could buy the equipment.
What do you want?
Can
I
we
don't
just
know, I
put a
gotta
pitch
look
on
it up, but
speakerphone?
they need
Tell me what you need. We'll take care of it.
Kind of. I
Nick,
mean,
give
that's
out your
the way
cell
that I
phone.
could set it up now, but I don't want random people.
I could tell you the first 3 digits of my cell phone number, and no one would call it just because of this.
666.
Yes, it is.
You know what's funny? If you put 666 in your phone, Mom comes up. Yes, it does.
Not my phone. I got it on Halloween too. If that makes it any freakier. Just a
That's
random
kinda funny,
number
though.
at Best Buy. I had to get a new phone because I had.
All right, so after we had to take a quick little break to delete some stuff. Thanks, Dean.
Yeah.
You are welcome.
I don't need everybody on the internet calling me.
Yeah, we're
You
almost
would like
up to
it.
100 people.
Yeah.
You would like the attention.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It would be nice to know who's listening.
You can make it just a podcast.
Yeah,
you
seriously.
Just fuck
It's like
with
a bunch of people calling me with. I'll tell you what.
randomly.
I'll figure out how to record my calls, and then
They have free apps for that.
Then you can give out my number, Dean. Yeah, I'm gonna download one and get it worked out, and then
Then he can just fuck with
gotcha.
people all day long.
fucking people from Afghanistan will call cussing me. I won't understand what the fuck they're saying. Did you swallow a piece of grass, or are you trying to clear your throat? You know, goes.
I'm like a honey, like a honey, like a honey.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm all fucked.
I'm off a clamp. The whole mishpuka's here.
I'll give you a topic to talk about. Civil War. It was neither civil nor war.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Don't let me hear you.
All this fakakta.
Don't let me hear you. All right, so we've talked about what
Greg, your
prison.
wife's grabbing your lizard.
We've talked about. No, we talked about that already.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say, ah.
Oh, the little doohickey thing. That's
Yeah. Oh,
Tanya won't stop about that. That's funny.
I'm not allowed to prove or otherwise. So I just gotta.
I'm hung like a baby.
Just take it.
Yeah. 8 pounds, 17
inches
inches.
long, yeah. Like a
You guys
baby's
hear
arm
that?
holding an apple.
We just gave out the number.
I got a 2-inch dick, 2 inches from the floor.
This
You ever
water's
take a-
cold.
And
what up?
deep. What you doing? Dodging traffic.
Speaking of which, okay, so
Okay.
yesterday. Okay. Are you
okay,
ready? Okay.
okay.
Okay, because I got a story. Okay, I'm gonna
They
tell.
fuck
okay.
ya.
They fuck ya, and they fuck ya, and they fuck ya.
That's how they fuck ya.
So I'm driving on the way home, and I don't think this ever made the news, which was kind of weird because I figure it would have. But there's this,
Totally threw a bag
Okay,
of poop out his window.
and in Florida,
That he made himself.
in Tampa, as long as I was sitting in traffic trying to come over to Howard Franklin from St. Pete to Tampa, I could have, but I didn't. So I throw change at people, not feces.
There you go.
Hashtag white privilege. But so
You realize that's a felony, right?
Yeah, it's,
Assault with a deadly missile.
Yep.
it's only a felony if you get caught.
Yeah, well, I'm just letting you know. If you get caught, that's a felony.
if you get caught, you're not going to be able to defend yourself
Yeah,
in court.
'cause
And
you're
that's
throwing
before
deadly
that is-
missiles.
hey,
I'll have change while I'm in court. I'll fling it at them too.
I was saying
Defend
right now,
myself.
that is a fucking Florida thing, dude. 'Cause I never saw that shit until I came down here. I was roofing. I was like my first week here. And I'm in the back of my boss's work
You
truck.
were on roofies?
No,
You were
I'm roofing.
roofing?
I'm roofing.
Oh.
I'm in the back of my boss's work truck. He picks me up at the butt crack of dawn. I'm still half fucking asleep. And they roll a fat blunt. And we're driving down the fucking interstate, and some dude cuts him off, and he just reaches over and grabs a fucking fistful of change. Just
You should do
wings
that
out the
back in
passenger.
high school.
Wings it. All you hear is ding, 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 ding. I was like, what in the fuck just happened? That shit does not happen where I'm from.
Throwing change? Yeah, when I was in high school, I was driving by Bonneville, and some guy, it was Halloween, and some guy jumped out of the back window of a car, like half hanging out in a wolf mask, and he startled me. And
Yeah.
I had a handful of change in the little center console, and he got, it's a good thing he was wearing a rubber mask. There was a lot
That's
of
some good
change,
shit.
and I got some big ass hands. So,
And he had a big ass face sticking out there.
Ow!
Speaking of which, my I guess mother-in-law has
Is
a
she your
wolf
wife's
dog. Yeah.
Okay, then that would make.
I mean, well, we're not married, but
Yeah, I
you
get
get the
that,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. She's got a wolf dog. Now, see, I have had a healthy fear of wolves and dogs that look like wolves my entire life.
But not gorillas. No.
Oh, yeah, take on a fucking gorilla, grizzly bear. No, but a gorilla.
See, the
yeah,
thing
I'd
with
beat that fucker's
with
ass.
gorillas is they have square teeth. They're not sharp. They have fangs.
But that bitch will
But
rip
they're
your arm off.
But
and
you know
beat to
what?
death with it.
But you know what? Them wolves, them got some sharp fucking teeth, and they go for the neck.
Well, the thing about wolves isn't
Most
that you
predators
have
do.
one attack you; it's that you'll
Yeah,
have
they're pack
multiple
animals,
ones
yeah.
tearing you apart at one time.
Yeah,
That
and there's a
sounds
lot of
fucking
teeth in there.
horrific,
Okay,
yeah.
that's like shark. That's like
Okay.
two sharks in one.
Worst movie ever. The Gray.
They great.
Not-
With
not-
Liam
I-
Neeson.
Not
I
even
couldn't
talking
even
about
get
it.
10 minutes into that movie.
I got a
didn't
question
watch the
though.
whole thing.
Would
I
you
wasted
rather?
hour 46.
When you
Yeah,
kill
your
a
life
life
motherfucker
you'll
with
never
a-
get back. But here's a question: would you rather be killed by a pack of wolves or burned to death?
Ooh,
I heard burning to death is pretty painful
That's
from
probably
some people
what
that
it-
survived it. You know what I mean?
no, they didn't.
You like that?
I
like
know the math.
You like that?
Well, here's the thing: if they do it right, you'll asphyxiate first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
really
you
smoke.
choke to death basically on
On
the
the smoke?
smoke,
Yeah.
and well, the fire eats up all the oxygen, so
Yeah.
while you're burned, you basically
And well,
it's
that's
almost
not
like
an
suffocation.
awesome way to die. I imagine it's less painful than burning, and it sure as fuck is less painful than being torn apart
No,
and
no,
bleeding.
I
to death.
tell you right
Yeah,
now.
And
dude,
technically,
bleeding to death,
the
I heard, is
only
pretty
reason
painful.
that it hurts is because you're still alive, and mentally, you know you're being burnt alive. Okay,
Yeah.
You
because
imagine being alive and being they're fucking eating me
After
right
the
now, and I'm
fire-
Yeah, and there's
well,
nothing you can do about it.
after a
I'm
third
punching
degree
shit. There's something
burn,
I can do about it.
No,
It
you're
might
tied
not
up.
work, but I'm
You're
doing
tied
it.
up for both. You can't.
I'm
after
tied up to being
Yeah, you're being killed this way.
after
That
a
sucks.
third degree burn, you don't the nerve damage is done. You don't feel anything
But
anymore.
you feel it right up until the
but
nerve
you
damage
know that
happens.
you're being burned.
Yeah, you're just. At
Yeah,
that
but the
point,
nerve
you're
damage takes
screaming
how
just 'cause
long?
you're like,
10
"Ah,
seconds?
being
Where's
burned."
Uncle Rob at to explain
here's-
this to
here's
us?
the thing
Not
about
a bird, someone alive.
the nerve
First,
damage.
tie him up. Second,
The-
some gasoline.
The nerve damage, your brain is going to automatically start firing off alarms that it can't feel those nerves anymore, and that causes a certain amount of pain.
Go into shock.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
go
the
into
shock is yeah.
And from what I understand, shock sucks. I've never been in it, but from what I understand, it's like not a fun place to be.
Yeah, because you don't have all your faculties.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
so drowning or being burnt to death, like being maybe a foot above the water and seeing the light on the end of that water.
Oh, yeah, you're tied up and you had a ball and chain holding you down.
Burning,
You
because
cannot-
my
you can
understanding
see-
is drowning is really painful.
That's what I'm saying.
And you can see the surface of the water about a
Man,
foot above
yeah.
you.
You could touch your hand out
You
the
guys
water,
are,
but you
guys
can't
are
breathe.
rotten bastards. If I could breathe through my fingers, I could survive.
It doesn't work that way.
I would
I get
grow.
a-
no
I
osmosis.
get a hanger and I put it on the stove till it gets like red hot. Like,
No. So I knew. I was thinking about that. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I don't want to. I
I
don't want
put
to go
I
there.
put your nuts on the dresser.
Were you trying to do?
Were you
Nuts
trying to
on
do
the
your nails?
dresser, and I
Scarification.
slam them
Nice.
bitches in the drawer like
I
blow.
was
Did
dumb
you-
enough
did you
to
forget
get
the
myself
ink?
a brand. No, it was a brand. It wasn't an ink.
No, if you really want to torture somebody, you take the a
Waterboard 'em.
TIG welding rod and you put it down their pee hole, and then you stand next to the breaker.
Ooh.
Because as soon as you turn that breaker on, the amount of voltage that's going to come through there is going to be enough to kill you, but it's going to go through your day.
Damn, dude.
And you might be one of those lucky people who doesn't die on the first shot, because some people have survived their first, 3 jolts from the electric chair. So
You
if
are one sick dude. You know that?
well, if we're going to talk about torturing people.
Seriously, if I ever have to be tortured, I seriously hope to God
real.
you are not the one
I
torturing
thought
me.
bamboo shoots up the fingernails was bad. God damn.
I'm just going to stand next to that breaker and make you sweat. If there's anything that you're going to tell me, you're going to tell me. And then I'm going to flip the breaker.
No, I'm going to tell you
anyway.
before you start shoving that rod up my pee hole.
I got something else to tell. Wait, hold on.
One time, this one time in 5th grade, I put a tack on the teacher's chair. It was bad. I feel bad now. I'm sorry.
I went to the movie theater and I went to the balcony. and
I
got a
pretended
bunch
to
of
throw up.
popcorn and
The lunar
nachos.
landing was taped. No, it wasn't. It was for real. We didn't invade Iraq for the oil. Yes, we did. What do you want to know? Leslie, no. Ah, my fingy. Oh.
What's up? I actually played with a guy's penis.
Damn, Dean.
I put ketchup on it. No, I didn't. At that point, they're gonna tell you whatever you want to hear.
If you really want to make somebody tell you what you want to know, you put
something up their pee hole.
No, tie them up, prop their feet, get to the bottom of their feet, so they're barefoot. You put an orange in a tube sock, and you just beat the fuck out of the bottom of their feet with that orange in a tube sock.
And that's how Nick finds out if Duncan did his homework or not.
That's right. If he did, if he didn't do it,
tube sock.
But
the beatings will continue until morale improves.
It won't leave any marks on you.
It's Full Metal Jacket soap in a tube sock.
That's going overboard. You're gonna break shit. Well, you don't. If you don't care if you want to ruin the person, just fucking then do the TIG welder thing. Because they're not gonna be worth a shit after that. Even if they get away, you let them go.
You take a little needle and you just do a little couple of pokes in the bottom of the foot. Then you beat it with an orange.
No, so you don't even have to do that.
Well, no, because then the acid from the orange leaks into the little pinholes and it burns.
Bastard.
Oh, you're not even
just
worried about it. You're not going to get that
stick it
far.
in their eyeballs.
Or you could take a chair and cut a hole in the bottom of it, make them sit on it, and you tie a knot and a heavy rope, and then you just swing it up under the chair.
Ooh.
You make them sit on the chair naked.
Holy shit.
Wow.
This is why we need a fucking video.
Oh, God, I wish I had a picture of
That's why we need a video for this.
That sounds terrible.
These are all classic torture techniques. Yeah? You know, the Iron Maiden was basically a sarcophagus with all the
spikes inside.
They never actually needed to kill anybody in that. All they had to do was threaten to put you in it. And you automatically started telling them whatever.
But what's the point of
confessing my life's sins?
It doesn't
Please
matter
don't throw me in there.
If I have a sarcophagus with nails in, I'm putting you in it no matter what the fuck you're telling me. Especially in those dark ages. That's what they did back then.
Because one, it's a dark ages, and
could.
two, you want to find out what it's gonna actually.
Because
Yeah.
Was that me? Thank you.
people aren't. You know, you want to make sure that people are gonna you can believe what these people. But here's the problem with torture though is, if I lie to you convincingly enough, then I get a little bit more time, because you can't. It's not the actual torture that makes torture work. It's the threat of torture that makes. And some you're gonna have to torture some people.
Now look, now if I opened up said sarcophagus, Iron Maiden, and pulled a like bloody, poked up body out of it, and then said you're going in next if you don't tell. You're gonna tell me what the fuck. I've already used it.
That,
See,
you
I've
know
used
what?
it.
That really
I'll put
depends.
your ass
That
in.
really
Well,
does
there's
depend.
tactics. Honestly, if you catch a group of people, and these are tactics from books, shit that I've read. You get the group of people together, you separate the leaders, because you can usually tell who the leaders are from the rest of the people, and you make everybody strip naked. And then if it's male leaders, that's exactly
You're not
what
the
you
leader
do.
no more.
No, that's exactly what you do. You take their leaders and you make fun of the size of their genitals or how flabby and out of shape they look. And then if you because you'll be able to tell if there's couples in the group, you separate the couples. You put the women in another room from the men. And then you have somebody in there, one of your own people, screaming and hollering like they're being tortured, because these people don't know that.
Yeah.
Or you do some things to the women in that room that are going to make them scream and make noise,
Last
but
thing
you're
you
not
wanna do,
really
yes.
hurting them.
I'll burn you with my fire.
Look,
crotch.
if I'm kidnapping a group of people, I'm not worried about whether I hurt them or not, because I'm probably eventually going to have to kill some of these people to find out what I want to know. But you separate them and you fuck them up mentally.
Yeah, the
That's
last
what-
thing you want to know is hear your wife screaming on the other side of that wall.
I just want to know how we got from throwing pennies and shit out of a car into tying
Torture
people
tactics.
down to toilet seat holes, basically, and swinging knotted ropes at their ass.
I don't know. That's how this podcast
Damn.
is, man.
So-
this thing can take a
Off
hard
the chin,
left
yes,
any
at
second.
any-
It took a really hard left.
Speaking of which,
Dale
what was that?
Earnhardt, the only man to ever take a right in NASCAR.
And since we're talking about torture and death, back to what I was actually on in the first place, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, I can't believe that this didn't really make it on the news or whatever, but there was a lady, I think it was a lady, could have been a dude.
Dude looks
There's
like
no
a
such
lady.
thing as a chick with a dick.
Only
It
dudes
looked
with
like
tits.
it looked like a butch white trash lady, I guess.
could have been a
is the best
lesbian?
way I could put it.
Dyke.
Was it wearing flannel?
No, I was actually wearing a black T-shirt with the arms cut off.
That said this dad has 6-pack abs.
No, because I don't think Dean was trying to do this.
No, I probably wasn't.
He doesn't really look like a dyke.
They
either.
closed off the,
Well, I mean, he
and it
does
could have
kinda.
been Fletcher Avenue where they closed it off, but there was someone hanging, or they were standing on the sign, the interstate sign that's hanging over the interstate. Like this person was
Wait, when was this?
trying to commit suicide. Two days ago. So this was Thursday.
Greg,
Not
They had
try to commit
they had a
suicide.
military
You want a
shutdown
picture and kill yourself.
of like 75 near like Wesley Chapel yesterday.
No, this was 275.
This is
This was
Yeah.
right before the Fletcher exit.
Okay.
And I had just got past it. Like there were two cops there. They were talking to the person or whatever. There was another cop on the way. They had the road below the interstate blocked off, and I think they were just about to block off the interstate. And
I have a pertinent question.
just got by.
Pertinent.
Yeah, if you were stuck there and there was a dude on the sign and you had your window rolled down in the car, what would you be doing?
Jump! You won't jump.
No, you pussy!
Either jump or get the fuck down. One way or
Sugar up the
another.
pot.
I got shit to do, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Bet you won't jump. I bet this would have worked better when traffic was moving.
I ain't no pussy.
If you jump now, you ain't gonna die. You better wait till this traffic's opened up.
I'd have thrown some change at the motherfucker.
Wait, let me finish calling my insurance company, putting full coverage on where you come down from that side.
No, they had down blocked already.
Oh.
They had the road below blocked already. I'd have been pissed. Fuck that. Like, obviously
I wanted
you
to
didn't
get
want to
hit by
kill
a car.
yourself. If you wanted to kill yourself,
what I
you'd
said.
have
already
fucking
done it,
jumped
yeah.
the
There's
fuck
no
off
attempted
already.
suicide there.
You
There's
wouldn't have fucking
suicide
waited.
or you want fucking attention.
It was intention.
Yeah, I worked. There was a paramedic that worked part time with me, and he said a lot of suicides are I want attention suicides.
Yeah.
But there was one where this guy went to the top of a cell phone tower, climbed all the way to the top of a cell phone tower, and his girlfriend had broken up with him, so he sent her a picture from the top of the cell phone tower, and then he jumped. And they were GPSing his phone to find him, and they couldn't figure out where he was at. So finally, someone found him at the bottom of the cell phone tower.
Damn.
That's fucking retarded. That's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
right
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
Hey, he ain't got no more worries now.
I got 99 problems with
Yeah,
it.
but
You
you
don't know that,
up,
though.
though.
You don't know what happens after you die. You could
Ah.
have
And you don't know
all-
what happened to the girl that he sent that
I'll
picture
tell you
to.
right
Seriously,
now,
he
yeah,
didn't fuck that girl up.
Suicide does not take the pain away.
Or
it just
did he?
gives it to somebody else.
Maybe she don't give a
She
fuck.
broke up with him, so I had a girl tell me.
I mean,
call
even
me
if
one
you break
time.
up with somebody, if they send you
Yeah.
a picture and they commit suicide, you're gonna be dealing with some shit for years.
I had a girl call
Straight
and
up.
threaten one time. She called me and said, "I'm gonna commit suicide," and I said, "Well, all right, you might want to let somebody know so they can call like an ambulance for you or something." And I hung up because I broke up with her like a week before, and she was crazy. And my roommate's like, "How can you be that cold?"
You got a
wanna-
level 5 clinger.
Because she just
Call
wants
the
attention.
coroner.
And if she does kill herself, then
I'll be sitting here eating
she has
biscuits and
problems I don't want
mustard.
to deal with. It's not gonna bother me.
Biscuits and mustard.
Look, you're
I
queer.
like my French fried taters and mustard.
You're queer. You're not the funny ha queer.
Not like Priuses and taking your mom to the prom, yay, but. Oh, did you see UC Berkeley? They had a big old fucking riot out there because a gay guy was speaking at a liberal college.
And like, what, 50 years ago maybe?
No, that was
No.
like a couple days
No,
ago.
I'm just saying, before
I thought
that,
you
they
were talking
were
about the Charles
rioting
Barkley
because they
thing.
didn't have free speech. Berkeley was rioting.
Yeah, and now
Now they're rioting because somebody
because the
wants free
gay guy
speech?
didn't have the same agenda as him. He works for Breitbart Media. He's not part of the liberal media, so they set shit on fire and knock stuff over and burn things. You know what liberals do when they don't get their way.
Kind of like almost in some of these third world countries. But they're not throwing rocks.
That's where we're
Are
at.
they throwing rocks?
No, they're throwing bottles of nails and feces.
Why is it every time
third
somebody
world
does something
countries are here.
destructive, they call them liberals?
In the third world country or here, they're throwing rocks, nails, and feces.
Why does that make
That's
sense?
what they did at the inauguration.
Oh, that's what they're doing here in,
What is
in,
what
a, in
makes
a first
sense?
world country. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, anytime somebody starts
Because
a
these
riot
people,
or
no,
does something
right
stupid,
now, because right now the people
They call
who
them
are doing are
liberals.
actually
No.
liberals
We don't call
right
them liberals
now.
because
okay,
of
but
it.
whatever,
they call
whatever.
themselves liberals because We're talking about the people who want to. We just want to have open borders. Just whoever wants to come in the country can just fucking come in.
Okay, well
Don't
that's
ban
liberal.
anything.
Okay.
We're talking about people who think that we should have just one bathroom for everybody.
Free healthcare, things like that. Yeah.
Well, free healthcare isn't a liberal idea. It's a socialist idea, and we do have some socialist things, but every model for socialist healthcare in any
Comes
country,
from
it hasn't worked. It does not work.
Except for it works in several other countries.
It doesn't work in England. It doesn't work in Canada. And this is from talking to people actually from Great Britain and people from Canada who have come here to get medical procedures done because the wait was so long in their country, they would have died before they had these simple procedures done. That's why they came to the U.S. and spent.
Because the free healthcare is.
It takes a long fucking time to get to see a doctor.
Kind of like the VA.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm sure there's a model that some genius that knows the ins and outs of this shit can come up with. But nobody's come up with a good model.
You know what the problem with the free healthcare is, though?
It's free.
Yeah,
Somebody's
because
got to pay. But here's the deal.
somebody's got to pay for it, and in the doctors, the ones who don't want to pay for it are going to take as long as they can and push that to the back burner.
No,
this
that's
isn't the
They
problem.
don't want to do it because the government pays that shit on
Wait,
the back.
I'm going to tell you exactly why free healthcare doesn't work in a capitalist economy. Because no doctor in America is going to.
Because free and capitalist are complete
In
opposites.
Japan, there's a set list. No matter what doctor you go to, you know how much. It's a menu.
Yeah.
There's a menu for healthcare procedures. Okay, doctors don't make shit. They still have to go through because it takes years and years of study to learn this shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's no workaround on that. Okay,
Yeah, I'm not taking no doctors.
and they spend all this money to go to college to learn this shit. And the idea was that when you got out,
Except for a lot of countries have free college, and so it's
well,
free.
you say
Still
a
devoting
lot.
the time.
There's not a lot that have
Even if it was free,
college.
you're devoting the time to
Yeah,
learning that.
they're not.
Yeah,
the
well,
return on
obviously.
investment is
I'm
not good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, especially in the United States where the investment is
Millions.
hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of
if
dollars
not
per
millions.
student. Yeah, if
Yeah.
not millions, you know. But how many doctors do you know that actually went that full 8 years that are not close to millionaires?
There's a lot of doctors that work in the public hospitals that don't make a whole lot of money.
They're
I mean,
paying
if
off.
you-
They're paying back debt.
Student loans.
But if you say, okay, if you say they don't make a whole lot of money, but a whole lot of money you have to have a set amount if you're gonna say they don't make a whole lot of money because
But they make a whole lot of money, but say 2/3 of your income goes to paying back bills from you learning how to do this.
I get that.
And insurance
But
against lawsuits.
Again, that's
Yeah, malpractice insurance is really bad.
and then you know obviously schooling because
Well,
schooling
that's
is-
where the 2/3 of your
yeah,
government.
but I mean
your
that's
money's
the
going.
loans and shit that we have to pay for because
Yeah.
we don't have free
And see,
schooling.
with medical, you have to continue schooling, and
Yeah.
it's not free.
if you want to
Hey,
continue your education.
teaching either.
Nope.
Yep.
There's like $600 worth of certifications that you have to do, plus your
But
degree.
that's
But that's
all
everything,
the
though.
government red tape, and that's part of the problem. But that
Yeah.
would come with
They
tort
don't have to
reform,
have
but that's a
any
whole
kind of
other
education.
podcast.
And that's again
That's
why
a
you
whole
have to
different
pay-
form of torture.
You have to pay to have your car registered so you can drive it on their roads, even though it's your personal property. You know how that works.
I think we should talk about this next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we know what we're going to start with next podcast
Yeah.
now. Hey, that's a
Them
week's
wanting
worth
to
of headache
license
away now.
kayaks and canoes, you're gonna have to pay
Yes.
to license
Oh, yeah,
kayaks.
That's a
and
good
canoes.
one.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I did see that on Facebook. Actually.
Personal flotation device, officer.
All right, everybody. We
My
appreciate
property,
you
I'll
for
put it where the fuck
listening.
I want it.
Any comments you got, leave them for us on Facebook or Twitter. Facebook.com, 3 Guys in the 12 Pack. We
Please don't
appreciate you
call
for
me.
listening. Don't call Nick.
Please
He'll
don't
call
King
you.
of the Forest because he is not the devil.
All right,
Oh, that's
everybody.
debatable.
We appreciate it. Tony the producer, Manly Danley, Greg the neighbor, King of the Forest. We're
Yeah.
out because it's hot.